Hello, this is Gemma from the Crafty Little Gem and thanks for joining me today. We are on the December Christmas card. So this is our last one. We have done 12 sets of Christmas cards throughout the year, one a month. So well done to us, yay! And this is just a cuteness overload. I absolutely adore the Festive Friends set. So this is what we're going to be making today. I do have this snowman. And I do have a Santa that we're going to do. And I've kind of kept them within the same colours because of the paper. And this is a paper that we have. I don't know what it's called. And I just found it in my DSP 6x6 stash. So if you can remember what this one was called from Stampin' Up, pop it in the comments below. But we are going to do... we're going to do the Santa, I think, today with the stripes, because I do think that the spotty one would look good, would look like snowflakes with the snowman. So we are going to concentrate on this one today, and I'm going to do 3 in the garden green, and I'm going to do 3 in the real red, I do believe. So then we have another box of 6 cards, and I have just grabbed out one of the boxes that we made before, so then I can just decorate it up afterwards with whatever I've got left, so it's not too complicated today. So again, we're working with the Festive Friends stamp set and die, my favourite set at the minute, and we will be doing a faux stepper card. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Please ignore the camera at the top, but you're going to get at least 1.5 bases out of one sheet of A4 card if we cut it like this. So we have the 11 3/4 by 8 1/4. On the 11 3/4 side, we are going to cut it at 9. This bit then, I know that we would normally put this to one side or use it for something else, but this becomes our stepper bit in the middle. So that will be 2 3/4 by 8 1/4. So this one, we are going to turn it to the 8 1/4 side, and we're just going to chop this one straight in half at 4 1/8. So we're going to take it to the 4, and we have got 2 little notches to the left, and that's just going to go straight in half. So that's going to be one card. We have got the main body for the second card. We then would just need to cut another one out of this, so we're just going to make sure that is 8 1/4, and I'm going to turn that to 2 3/4. So this will then become the stepper bit for the middle of our other card. Okay, but we are just going to concentrate on one today. We're going to move our trimmer out of the way, and on our 2 3/4 by 8 1/4, we are going to turn it to the 8 1/4 side, and we are going to score it at 4 1/2. So we can fold that. We want the biggest piece to be at the front and this to be at the back. You can leave this a little bit longer if you want to. It's entirely up to you, because it is just going to go all the way round. On the 9-inch side of the 9 by 4 1/8, we are going to score at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 3/4. So we have this, we have 2 little ones there and one in the middle, so that one is going to go that way. This next one closest to the middle is going to go up, and this tab here is just going to be folded down. So that is what we end up with. So we're just going to pop those out of the way before we start to burnish anything, we need some layers. So I am going to go in with the garden green. I'm not going to do the back bit just yet. I can. So you will need 2 pieces of 4 by 3 1/8. We are going to have one on the front and one on the back, and that will just cover up where we've joined the back bit there. So that is our second piece. You will need one piece that is 4 by 1 1/8. So that is 2 to the left of just the 1. So that will then be our piece right there. And I do believe I need one more piece that I will just grab and get, because we actually need a base piece to go round our... So I've just grabbed another sheet of garden green. This needs to be 4 3/8 by 2 5/8. So I'm going to do the 2 5/8 first. There. And then we need to turn it and cut it to 4 3/8, which is there. Okay. So this is going to be for this piece here. Like so. So I need to cut another bit of the white, and that will need to measure 3 7/8 by 3. So we're going to do, we may as well do 3 7/8 along that side, and this is by 3. So this is going to have the to and the from on it, and that's going to be the back. But we also need our layering pieces. So this one has nothing on. We are just concentrating on these 2 pieces for the layering. And these need to measure 3 7/8. So that's what I'm going to do first along the top. 3 7/8. We're then keeping this bit and turning, and this one needs to be 3. You can get 2 of these again out of one sheet, so I'm going to leave that because that is 3 by 3, and I can get the other one out of this one. We're then going to work on the bit that we had to one side, and again we need it to be 3 7/8 along the long edge, so we have a little square that we're left with. And this needs to be by 1 inch, so I am using this side again. So that is by 1, so that is 1 out of that bit. And again, I'm just going to move it across and get another little 1 inch piece out for my other card as well. So that can go to one side. We have a piece that we are going to be stamping on and embossing, and this measures 2 3/8 by 3 3/4. So that is the piece that we are going to be doing some bits and pieces on. But we're going to bring our base cards back in. I'm going to start layering some bits up. So we're just going to burnish on them score lines that we've just folded. We're going to bring our patterned paper, our DSP, in with our layering. And I'm just going to apply some of the Tombow glue that we have to the back, and make sure you get that nice and centered. I'm also going to do the same with this piece. I know the stripes are going in the opposite direction, but that doesn't actually bother me at all. So when the card sits, it's actually going to be like so. I'm fine with that. We're going to pull this bottom section out and we're going to attach this bit to the back of this card with a very slight gap around the outside. So again, I'm using the garden green. And again, that slight gap around the outside. So before we put this one on, we're actually going to attach this bit, but we need to layer this up first with the garden green piece. And that's going to go on top with a very slight border again. Like so. I'm going to bring in the piece that I've actually die cut it. I've got a nice stitched edge, and what I've done first is I have stamped my little sentiment at the bottom, so then I am in preparation for where I need my tree to be. So then what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've embossed a tree in the gold that we have, embossing powder, but it actually gives me an idea of where I want it to be, because obviously I don't want the Santa to be going off the edge, so he's actually going to be sat there, so you can just see the tree behind him, but it's not actually interfering in any of our little topper there. So he is going to go there afterwards because he is the last thing that we're going to pop on. This piece is going to go right to the back with the fold there, and I'm going to just pop that there. I'm going to line up, but I'm not bringing this right to the bottom because otherwise you're going to see this piece underneath our DSP. I'm going to pick that up and I'm actually going to pop a little bit of glue at the top there, and I'm just going to eyeball it across there of where I need it and slightly bring it up. So I know that is where I want it to be. You're aiming for the middle. You can take it to one side. It's entirely up to you. But now we have that in place, we're just going to do exactly the same again. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue there, but now I've actually got a line of where the adhesive needs to be, and as you can see we've just got a bit of a gap at the bottom, but as long as you score it at 4.5, if this bit comes down a little bit more, it doesn't matter that much. We are going to put our layering piece on to cover up the back. Like so. Because this is our front, because the piece is longer, we don't want anyone sticking anywhere. The next thing we're going to do is put our topper piece on over the top here, just again by using our Tombow, and that will cover up the join on this bottom, and that's why we're not bringing it all the way to the bottom, because you will see a little bit down here of it. I need to put a little bit of glue just on that back there that I need to sort out afterwards. We then have our topper, and this is going to go on some foam dots and over the top of this. So I'm going to go in my drawer and get the adhesive strips out. Now I do believe that these are a little bit too long. I'm going to pop some in half, and we can happily use them the other way up. like so. You can peel those off. Make sure you do your stamping and embossing before we do any of this, and make sure our top is the right way up and we've got a nice border all the way around the outside. We're then going to bring our fabulous little Santa in and apply some more of these adhesive strips like so. And I have done all the colouring in and everything, and just where it's white I do just a little bit of shading with the grey. I'm going to pop him about there just so we can see the tree. You can move the tree a bit more over to that side if you wish. And we have that as our actual card. We're then going to grab our white, and in the set there is actually a little to and from, which is there. So that is the top there. I do believe my daughter has run off with my black ink again, so we're going to go in with the basic grey. Turn that over, make sure it stamps how you want it to. That's just going to go in the top corner. Pop that away. And some adhesive on the back. Oh, where is he? We are bringing our Santa in and just lining that up on the back of the card. And what you can actually do is you can write these all out before you stick them down if you find that easier. But I'm just going to move it across that way a little bit more. That's fab. So there we are. We have our Santa faux stepper card. We have our elf. I nearly called him a gnome. It's an elf stepper card. I will be doing our snowman little stepper card again in the garden green, and then I'll do another full set in the real red. Thank you for joining me today. You'll see the box and how I've decorated it up afterwards with all the little bits that we do have left over. I think that would be a good idea to have a mixture. I don't know yet, but thanks for joining me. Thanks for staying with me. If you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on anything that is going to be coming over the next couple of weeks, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye for now.